LAW Nation. And today or tonight, we're going to talk about expectations for one, right? And we're going to talk about depth purposes, and then I'm opening up the floor for Q&A. I know it's a little late for those, but we got to get this information out one way or another, right? Here's the thing. We got to understand that this year is unique. Whether we're going to have a season or not, we got to plan, and we got to properly plan. And I'm thinking, with all of the information that we have in front of us, that this team already have a legit chance of doing great things as it relates to depth purposes. Let's go by the first line of reasoning. Shout out to you, D Shift. Here's the first line of reasoning for me to say this. Think about this. Dak Prescott backup is Andy Dalton, who is a veteran, by the way, who knows the West Coast offense, right? And, of course, we do know without a shadow of a doubt that we will be doing this right here, Cowboy Nation. Kellen Moore's system, finessed with Mike McCarthy's system. Ain't this right, Nate? Shout out to you, Landon. Really appreciate you, Crystal. Thank you so much for tuning in. So here's the thing. When we look at all of those things and we add it together, we would say to ourselves, man, that's a good situation. Because on one end, you got the new fish. On the other end, you got the fish that was pretty much cast out in Green Bay land. Took a year off, looked at everything and said, how can I improve myself? And I tell people all the time, when you do a self-inventory of yourself, you figure out nuances. You figure out ways to make things right. Ain't this right, Craig? English, really appreciate you, Ready Red. So here's my situation with this. We look at the coaching staff. We look at Mike McCarthy and what he brought to the table from everyone, right? And then we look at it and we add these things together. The young Kellen Moore, the offense before he came onto the scene was ranked what? 27, 26, something like that. And Kellen Moore shifted and moved that offense to being pretty much top 1, top 2, top 3, give or take in that category. Now, I will say we was allergic to the red zone. That's why you got Mike McCarthy. So depth purposes for this particular situation for this year is everything. One can argue it's everything in any given year. Ain't this right, Akeem? Really appreciate you, my brother from another mother. And when we look at the running back scenario, right? There's plenty of teams that would love to have Tony Pollard. He's our backup. Ain't this right, Eric? He is our backup. And we got Ezekiel, the main man. Elliott, I will say this. I started to look at tons and tons of 2013 Green Bay Packers tape. This is when they ran the ball with Eddie Lacy. And I started to look at a lot of the 14 tape to see how they combat against the elements or the situation, the injuries as it relates to Aaron Rodgers going down. And they utilized the running back. And the way Mike McCarthy's system was, or is at this point, is he liked those running back that could run downhill. And say Wu, the guy that's going to fill in the void for Jameis Olawale, he's a downhill runner, and he got good feet. When we start to couple all of those things together, man, this season just need to get here. Ain't this right, Joel? Yeah, so here's the situation. I'm going by line, the depth purposes of this team and how this team can benefit from having the guys that we see out there. And when we think about it, shout out to you, Big Nate. Big Nate crazy. He talking about, let's go get Zach Ertz. The trade for Zach Ertz. Nah, we don't do that around here. Come on now. But shout out to you, man. I really appreciate you for texting me on that. But here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. When we think about our tight ends, when we think about what we have right now, I like the notion. I like the ideal. I like the understanding. I like the feeling. I like the thought track of putting Blake Jarwin out there as a permanent piece opposed to what we were seeing or what he was doing last year. I like seeing that, Chris. Westery, really appreciate you. What's good, Law? I see you late night grinding, baby, all the time. You got to grind to shine, baby. Ain't this right? But here's the thing. We got a pair of Blakes We got the Blake Jarwin and we got the Blake Belldozer. You know, they call him Blake Bell or what have you, but Belldozer. My thing is with that, he was a safety valve for even Pat Mahomes when he was playing over there in Chiefland. And if anything, if he can just tell us a little bit what they did within the confines of their offense, give me that any day, every day, twice on Sunday, baby. So I'm looking at it, this particular team from an offensive perspective. Yes, we was top 5, top 3, top 2, whatever you want to put it at. Whatever the shoe, if your feet can fit it, right? You can just wear it. But here's the thing. When we are looking at what we did last year under Jason Garrett, I'm not hating at him. Look, I'm not hating at him. Look, I'm going to say it again. I'm not hating at him. But when we were able to see those things, and now you're finna add in an extra, like read all about it, year of experience with Kellen Moore, right? Add this fact to it, Dak Prescott is what it is at this point. I know a lot of people saying, Lord, let's get off of Dak, man. Please, let's move on. But I have to say this, newsflash, he get better every year, right? The only people mad are a collective small few people, right? The craziest thing of it all, we don't get no heat, no flack from outside people, right? It's only the people from within. That's the craziest thing of it all. You can do a poll on Washington team's, decision or concerns of Dak Prescott. You can do a poll on even the Philadelphia Eagles. You can do a poll on them and the Giants. They say, man, hey, Dak's pretty good. But within their own division, within their own confines of this particular team, you get a lot of people with the Cowboys silver and blue on. They can't stand Dak Prescott for some reason. But that's a story of a different day. He will improve. Even if we have to roll out Andy. I'm just looking at it from the collective team. The weapons that we got on the offensive side of the ball, when I started to talk about these wide receivers, baby. Jonathan, what's good? Same players need to step it up because of the opt-out. Did anybody else opt out? Y'all let me know if anybody else opt out on this particular team, because I do know that they pushed it back from the 3rd. I think they're now going to push it all the way to Thursday or something like that. But here's the thing. Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, CD, TD, Lamb, and here's the thing. What I like more so than anything about that is that this simple fact is very simple. It's super simple. Is that now you got guys, Michael Gallup, not even going to talk about Amari Cooper, but Michael Gallup for right now, of course. But Michael Gallup, before he got his knee all twisted up because he refused to go down. Sometimes, Michael, you got to stop the fight, right? But Michael, he refused to go down. I think it happened against that Washington team. And that they dive at the man's knees or lower extremities, right? But before that time frame, that kid was on to something. He was eating up those 2s and number 3 DBs that's covering him. And he's like a silent assassin. I'm not saying that he got like a chip on his shoulder. I'm not saying that he's one of those guys that's sensitive in a sense. But I can say this about the young lad. That this year, continuity. I've been saying this for a minute. Continuity is everything. And that continuity will be there, Cowboy Nation. Mendoza, not to ask the other 52 guys on the roster, I don't care what these fans say. This is from Mendoza. Shout out to Mendoza on my Facebook page. Really appreciate you. Hit that share button. Let me know when you share so I can give you a shout out. Nate said trade for Jimmy G. Come on, Nate. He ain't trading for no Jimmy G. But here's the situation. Here's the situation right here. When we look at this team, we look at what we did on the draft, and we look at what we did the previous draft and these sorts of things. Offense is set. It's just that we got a big old void right now of unknown, unsureties or some lack of information, basically, because we didn't get a chance to see that battle within the battles of the rookie camp or what have you. And you guys know where I'm going, right? You guys know where I'm going. We talking about that front five, the five guys, offensive line. We can really close our eyes and say, well, Connor Williams, before the injury, he was showing that he was turning the corner, right? And before last year, a lot of people was ready to kick La'el Collins out the door, right? It's just that last year, regardless of what we went 8-8, somebody can say, man, hallelujah, La'el Collins light finally turned on, right? So he performed at a top maximum level last year. So now we want to see, can he repeat his por favor? James Strigger says, what about Devin Smith? Shout out to you, T-Ron Fairley. Thank you for sharing. I forgot about Devin Smith jumping back to the wide receiver. Look how I'm gonna moonwalk back. You guys good with me? Let me moonwalk back a little bit. Let me take a sip on my good juice. This is brought to you by the Dallas Cowboys, one way or another. All right. So, with that being said, when we think about Devin Smith, if he makes this team, and if they don't fall in love with the other guys, is he going to be on this team, Devin Smith? Number 15. Let me know, because I think that if given the proper amount of opportunities and no political football, I think that the kid, next level speed. Last year when I got a chance to talk to him, shout out to Cowboys Experience, check them out, on the Facebook page. Got a chance to talk to him, wrap it up with him, and he was saying like he felt his best ever last year, opposed to what he was previously doing the previous years. So my thing is, if you really think about it, Cowboy Nation, if given a chance and an opportunity, I think that he is that 4-3 guy that can take the top off the defense. And I think that he will be a crucial part for this team, because really, Gallup, he's not 4-3 guy, but he is yak guy, yards after catch, and he is subtle speed, quicknesses, and stuff like that. More like your Michael Irvins, right? Not Blazer, but once he gets the ball, he just explode. And one can argue that Sedari and Lamb and Michael Gallup, same person, as it relates to that type of aspect of the game. Better at the top of the route, kind of, sort of not that great at the release. Let me repeat, kind of, sort of, not that great on the release. Law, what are you talking about? Man, CD Lamb is generational. Well, I'm not going to be here to lie to kick it to you guys. He struggled off the LOS, basically. That's why you kick him inside the slot. That's why he's a rookie. He's not coming in at this thing like a veteran that you can line him up anywhere and say, okay, try me. Nah, that's not that case for him. And Devin Smith, same issue, you believe it or not, at the line. Now, the reason why a lot of people do not want to press Cooper like that, because they don't want to get embarrassed. Cooper still got that 4-3, 4-4 speed or what have you. He's the more quick, shifty guy, big physical guy, believe it or not. I know a lot of people call him soft, but he's really not the guy that's going to really just take a vertical seam and take the top off the defense. He does most of his work action at the point, at the LOS. No shade at Amari Cooper, but that's just how that goes with Amari, and that's how that goes, believe it or not, with Sedarian Lamb. But he can get there, right? Not trying to, paint this man's career. A lot of times people look at wide receivers and think what they was in college is everything that they will be on the next level, or what they were the first year will be everything they are at the next level, right? Or the continuing years. No, that's not the case. No, the scenario. Just like Terrell Owens, right? Just like Antonio Brown, right? We can go back and forth on these wide receivers, though. Robert Terrell, big question. and the secondary need to generate more interceptions. All right, I'm going to tie this offense up, and then we're going to talk about the good stuff, the defense. To me personally, defense wins championships. Defense is everything. I would rather play defense, even in a fighting situation. I'm more of a defensive guy. You counteract, punch, knock you out, leave you with the raggedy tooth, that type of situation. More so not the person that's going to swing first, basically. If you don't want to know any tips on it, I like to just sit there and see what you all about. Then I work you in from the inside out, baby. That's just how it goes. I'm more of a defensive-minded person. Defense, baby, right? So, offensive line. We got a big old hole right there, right? In the center of the situation. I pretty much would say this all the time. The center position is pretty much one of the, you can argue, the second hardest position to learn or the third hardest position to learn, depending on what mindset you're with, right? I'm looking at it from this perspective. The center position, you're going to touch the ball 100% of the time. There's nobody on the field that's going to touch the ball more than you, right? You got to have so much responsibilities because of the simple fact. You got to point out the mic. You got to do the line shift. You got to be aware of the crowd noise. Now, it's one of the good situations for us, believe it or not, because there would not be a lot of fans in the stands. I'm thinking that they broke it all the way down to only 30%, some capital capacity and some 40% capacity or what have you. So, Take advantage of that, Cowboy Nation, because you will have a center that he can really make his shift, make his adjustments or what have you. And truth be told, they're going to have to switch that up too, because defense, by it being no crowd noise, the defense can really ping on and take heed to what your shifts are. So it's going to be a lot of stuff that you're going to have to really ingratiate yourself with as it relates to that front. Especially when you are the center. You got to have that center exchange to the quarterback on par. That is the only thing that's probably keeping Joe Looney in good graces with his team, because he got many snaps with Dak Prescott under center. I don't know, but I do like the Tyler Biadasz. I do like I like his tape. I like his mental mindset. Pretty much, he got all of the awards that Travis Frederick got it pretty much or better, and actually on the collegiate side of the ball. Not saying that he's Travis Frederick. Don't crucify me, Cowboy Nation. But I do look at this thing from, I guess, a broad perspective, basically, or pretty much an outlook perspective of looking at it like this. These guys can always grow. But dog it, ain't as good. You know, they say ain't is not a word, but I'm going to use it again. Ain't as good to know that you got depth at that position. So even if you have your scratching of the minds with Joe Looney, you can reach down into your pocket and pull out a Tyler Biadasz, right? I ain't going to call him badass because he got to earn that name. He earned it in college land, but now let's see if he's going to earn it over here on the pros levels, right? All right, so Carolina Cowboy, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the defensive side. You guys get out your questions, man. Jordan, what's good? He said goofy plays with Zeke running third and long. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, you know, third and long. They go and line up in I, and they put the ball in the belly of Ezekiel and say, hey, go make it happen. Well, I don't think that we're going to be utilizing those type of plays anymore, right? If anybody can disagree with me, please do so right now, right? So here's the thing. On the defensive side of the ball, I think the first question was somebody was talking about, like, what can we do to generate more turnovers? What can we do to generate more takeaways? What can we do to put the fear inside the hearts and the minds of the offensive team, right? So we can be one of those situations where they can say, man, I'm seeing ghosts, baby. I'm seeing ghosts. It's Gallup monsters, man, everywhere. What can I do? I do not want to play. Matter of fact, I want our defense to be so nasty, so ugly, so hideous, smelly, smelly, I want our defense to be just like that. So when we step into their territory, they know it's going to be a dog fight. Why do they say dog fight, Law? Why they don't say it should be like a cat fight? Because you know what? A dog, I seen a dog get his nose ripped off, blood gushing everywhere, but the dog still fighting. The dog still biting because the dog's sitting there saying that I must protect this house. And this is what I want the Dallas Cowboys to do. When teams walk down here into Big D, this is like almost a motivational speaking time for you guys. Penetration for the nation, ain't this right, Akeem? I want our defense to be the ones to look at everything and say, okay, you want to double team D-Law, that's cool. But I got McCoy right next to him that he got to account for too, even though he slammed down a little bit, not the big girth side that I was looking for, but if he can get off, if he can still do two gap responsibilities, then brother, he can be as a twig. He can be 280, all I care. Just do your job, right? Now, you bring in Poe. You bring in Antoine Woods. Although he got hot and upset about what I said, at minimum snaps, he will be valuable. But those are the facts. I don't want Woods out there with 60 snaps. Woods shouldn't say, I don't want to be out there for 60 snaps. Let's be real with it. I call a spade a spade. It's time to be all, hey, man, I'm going to prove you wrong. Look, bro, you want the best for you, get your butt out there for 30 snaps. And that's all I'm saying. Not really want him out there for 60 snaps, but that's a story of a different day. You bring him in as a rotation. Also, you think about this. Randy Gregory, when they ever decide to reinstate that brother, you will have him, Alden Smith, and the young phenom, Bradley Anai. That's what I want to see. Those rotations coming in. Rotation coming in. And you know what that does? Fresh front four creates pressure. It creates a sense of urgency for the opposing team. Because think about this, and this is why it is so important to being able to rotate your guys as it relates to the front four. This is why. You may want to write this down. The front five, they don't rotate on the offensive side of the ball. You see, I'm going to keep this face right here. I'm smiling, right? The front five do not rotate their guys. So what happened a lot of times, Cowboy Nation, is this right here. Around the third quarter, the late third quarter, especially going into the fourth quarter, after they try to make their necessary adjustments or what have you as it relates to line shift and line placement, it's like that penetration. That Akeem just mentioned, that penetration. Eventually, it's going to cave in. Those guards going to drop their guards. And guess what? McCoy going to eat. Gallup going to eat. Tristan Hill, even though we would love to see a Warren Thorne here, but Tristan Hill going to eat because they fresh. And those guards who've been sitting in that chair stand the entire time, they get a little weaker. And you just penetrating. Persistence. Being able to win your one-on-ones. That's how you win. Just persistent. Pounding. That's why I believe they use that slogan over there in North Carolina, the Panthers. They say, keep pounding. The year they went to the Super Bowl, although they didn't win it, but Keywan Shorts and those other big boys from the inside, Charles, all of those guys, they kept pounding. Luke Kuechly was like, oh, I can run free now? Oh, I'm free? The Davis kid, he was like Martin Luther King, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. They was flying everywhere. Those linebacker tandems right there. Luke Kuechly, I think the other guy name was Davis. Let me know, correct me if I'm wrong. But those brothers was flying. because of what the front four was able to do. What the front was able to do. That's going to create pressure. That's going to create anticipation throws to be shorter and quicker or what have you. And on top of that, when the third and fourth quarter, that's when it's time for us to collect. That is time for us to really reap from our benefits. Yeah, Thomas Davis, really appreciate you. I know I said David, David, appreciate you. Yes, Law. Shout out to my dog, J4, what he had to say. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thomas Davis was able to get there because of what? Look, it's almost like preaching. He was able to get there, predicated upon what the front four was able to do. Amen. So what we need to do is just say, rip that page out and put it in our playbook. Let this front four eat. Then, if healthy, that's the operative word, if healthy, Jalen Smith, you can blitz him several times, or you can have him drop, or whatever you need to do. But LVE, who I will say, good at blocking those passing lanes out, right? Shout out to you, Mr. Senior. He says cowgirls are trash with the toilet. Shout out to you, man, on the Periscope, man. Really appreciate you. Still share this thing because even though we may be trash or toilet, you watching and you listening, right? Johnson, what's good? Dak is the man. Yeah. We just got to have Dak to continue to grind. Look, don't read his own press clippings. Get out there. I know a lot of people saying he lost weight, but he got to get back out there. We haven't had a nasty dogs in a minute. This is David Royal. We need dogs. Yeah, we need those dogs to be nasty. Not looking cute, not looking all fancy. We don't need for them to be in the dog and pony show. You know how they were saying, it's just a dog and pony show. No, we need to have these dogs ready. I'm talking about laying them out on the ground like Family Guy and refusing to pick them up. You ever seen Family Guy? Let me know. Yes. And it was Power was good. Jalen and LVE going to eat, but it's predicated on what the front four is going to do. Yes, Juice was good. Shout out to Juice World too, man. Juice, we going to be bullies. Yeah. And that mindset comes from Tom Sula, Mike Nolan, George Edwards. New mindset. I think with those guys, and Al, of course, you can talk about the defensive back coach and Maurice Linguist. But what I'm thinking that a lot of times, you have to set the table. You have to set the presence. You have to set the tone. And in order for you to do that, how do you say? Respect is not given, it's earned. You got to earn your respect. But there's some groundwork, some ground stuff that got to be set on the first front, right? On the front first. Here's why I have to say this. For those who got houses out there, if you live in a house, what have you, you stay in your own crib or what have you, there's an unwritten rule, like a respect situation. And it's all on how you carry yourself. A lot of times, if somebody's invited to your spot, 9 times out of 10, the person that comes in, they're going to mirror what you're doing. So if you're not putting your feet on the sofa or what have you, they won't put their feet on the sofa, right? But when that tone and that presence is already set, when you walk into my domain, when you walk into my home, you see that everything is prestige. You see that everything is clean. So you automatically, before you step into Law House, you automatically say, man, this place clean. Without even me open my mouth, you already taking your shoes off. You're like, dog, I'm taking these shoes off, man. The brother got the floor so clean over here. I don't want to disrespect Law, right? But some of these people houses, you walk right in and you say, man, matter of fact, dog, I'm gonna stay right here, man. I don't even want to get my shoes dirty for walking inside of your house. That respect is not there because you didn't even lay the platform out. And see, the Cowboys, the way our defense been, is that it was dirty. And I just try to give you guys the analogies, stuff thrown everywhere. You walk right in here, you be like, man, let me just disrespect. Let me put my feet all over on the countertop. Oh, the coach. Let me disrespect the coach. Because a lot of times, officials respect the coaches. What are you talking about? Well, case in point, let's go back to Sean Payton. They didn't do a lot of things in the playoff as of lately, right? They make it to the playoff every year, and we're talking about the Saints. But what happened here is that the moment that they had that pass interference situation, they changed the rule the very next year. But good old Dallas, catch no catch, Jason Garrett on the sidelines with his hands folded, chewing bubble gum and spitting every 5 minutes and clapping, gets zero respect. Because if it was anybody else that offseason, Jason Garrett should have been barking. Like, hey, my wide receiver caught the ball, or other stuff that happened throughout the year or what have you. He would have been barking. They say the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? The person that's talking get the attention. So Sean Payton and their collective fan base, they say, you know what, we're going to sue the NFL. We want our money back. What happened against the Dallas Cowboys when the Saints played the Cowboys? All types of stuff was getting called their way. Pass interference, multiple times on the offensive side of the ball. Oh, what happened? Because they knew that this was a televised national game, they tried to say, well, we're going to give you a game back. We can't give you the Super Bowl. We can't put you there. But at least we're going to try to help you guys out. Oh, Ezekiel Elliott elbow inside the ground. Let me know if I'm lying. Inside the ground. Maybe you can go down there to New Orleans right now, and you probably can see an imprint where Ezekiel Elliott elbow was down. Fumble. What they do? Review the tape. They said, you know what? I think that his elbow wasn't down. And Ray Charles can see, he dead and blind, that Ezekiel Elliott elbow was down. Ain't the right, James? Ain't the right, Joel? But I would sound like a Dallas Cowboys apologist or a homer right now, right? But those are the facts. When you get respect, when you have that tone, that presence, and you figure out ways to win in spite of certain situations. See, the Patriots, the Patriots, I got to go all the way back to the Patriots. And we know that that's Bill Belichick. Everybody say, okay, well, the guy cheated. He got those multiple Super Bowls because he still got the tapes. Although they gave him the tape, who knew that he probably made copies? Who knows, right? But here's the situation. What made Bill Belichick great is because even though he cheated, he was able to say, well, after the Spygate and all of this deflate stuff that's talking, I'm still winning. And last year, what happened? Still cheating. Still give respect. If it was anybody else, they probably got him up out of the league. Still cheating and still winning. Oh, it's just the lowly Cincinnati Bengals. Well, Cincinnati Bengals now are loaded and loaded. They ain't the lonely Cincinnati Bengals now. So here's the thing. Yeah, Johnson said the Pats sucks. Yes, they suck, but they know how to cheat. If you ain't trying, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? All right, so Mike McCarthy will not take no mess. Yes, this is from Akeem. Yeah, there's a video floating around. And I keep on forgetting to re-upload it and post it out so everybody can see with their eyes the video of Mike McCarthy talking down to the golden boy, Aaron Rodgers. I love it. I love hard coaching, though. Shout out to you, Johnson. I'm doing pretty good. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Dak Attack, whoever, if either one of they need to make a move, go ahead and get them and get the COVID testing done. Get the jersey numbers made and slap the pads on. We talking about in a matter of weeks before camp is done. Dak Attack, just elaborate a little bit more. Here's the situation with the opt-in, opt-out. I know that they're pushing it back so more people can get the opportunity to make their decisions with their family. My thing is, I would, if it was me, if I was the commissioner of the NFL, right, I would at least allow one game. And I know that there are some stipulations where you can get your money accrued or what have you if you play one game. But I would draw up or draft up a new CBA, well, I guess you call it a amendment or something like that, or an addendum or something like that, and push this opt-out situation after week one. Let me repeat, push the opt-out situation after week one. That way, a player can look at the rigorous situation and understand that, hey, this football life, the way they're going to roll it out, it's crazy. It's crazy how I got my pad on and what have you. I think that would be the better way. Let me know if I'm wrong, Cowboy Nation, because it's different. Some people kind of like halfway in, and the worst thing that you can ever have out there is somebody running around without a whole heart at it, right? And that's right, Chris. Shout out to you, Chris. Shout out to you, Andre. But that's the worst thing you can have, rock drum, is somebody with a half heart that's out there. If I'm playing, this has got to be like war almost. If I'm playing, I want the person that's to the right of me and to the left of me playing at full capacity. I don't want them to be running down the field thinking, hey, this dude, he sneezed in the first quarter and it landed on my shoulder, or it landed on my sleeve or what have you. And I don't know whether or not I got COVID, I want somebody to say, with this type of mindset, this is war. And I know it sounds crass, but I want somebody to have the whole intention of playing tooth and nail for me or with me. That's down in the foxhole with me, that's really going to say, I got your back. That I know that my blind side is protected. They made a whole movie out of the blind side, basically. Let me know if I'm wrong. Do you think we will make it through a full season? Mark, really appreciate you. I was talking to my dog, Shango, earlier today. He was helping me out with my PlayStation stuff, man. Shout out to Shango, man. He got some good stuff that's going to be around the way. If you don't know who Shango is, just type in the Dallas Cowboys rant. You should see his name, face, and logo. Shango. I mean, he's the godfather of this all, right? He's the reason why I'm doing YouTube, believe it or not. I was talking to him, and I said, you know what? The way this NFL is, the unknowns, the way everything is going, and the luck that we had in the several past years or what have you, I would not be surprised if we start off 3-0 or 4-0, and then all of a sudden, don't crucify me, Cowboy Nation. we get this shake action talking about there's no more NFL. Pack up all of your stuff, go home, secure your financials, be with your loved ones, and we'll start this thing up next year. But the problem would be the draft is next year, right? Then they would say, well, based on your record, you 4-0, you got the 26th pick, or you got the 27th pick. That would be our luck. And let me knock on some wood. Let me drink on my good juice. But I don't want that to happen, though. I don't want that to happen. Mark says that's his fear. That's everybody unknown right there. Shout out to you, Victor. I really appreciate you. Cowboys all the way. That's all I got to say. Yes, I'm rooting for the Cowboys. I'm flat out rooting for the Cowboys regardless. I bleed silver and blue regardless of the situation. So, hey, can you add me and I get the PlayStation ID? My PlayStation ID is Law Nation 24. Law Nation 24, LAW Nation 24, or I think this LAW Nation -24. 24 is my number in middle school and high school, so 24 is my favorite number. You guys know how that go. 24 all day, every day, and shout out to the late great Kobe 24 And shout out to Everson Walls. That's my dog right there. There you go. Shout out to you. This virus is no joke. I don't blame these players for opting out. This is from Jonathan. Yes, I agree. But they should allow the opt-out to be after week 1. That would be fair. But if you have people opting out before that time frame, I think that they can't get a good feel of what's really going to go down, right? They can want to say, well, I don't know. Do you see Jordan Lewis winning a starting job? This is from Aaron Robinson. My thing is, Aaron, is this right here. Jordan Hip Pocket Lewis. Y'all saw the jersey he wearing 26. Shout out to him from switching from 27 to 26. I think 26 is a good number for him. It's his college number, I believe. I just think that the way they said that this new staff, don't know anybody, and it should be no favoritism, no shoe-in for certain people. When we think about that, and we say, okay, now we're going to be a battle of straight up battle, Jordan Lewis versus Anthony Brown, or Jordan Lewis on the outside, because I don't think that they will put him out there because of his height. But if they do, and they treat him like, hey, you can be this dog on the outside, if it's a straight up battle, I think Jordan Lewis win. I think that Jordan Lewis is going to figure things out, and he's going to be one of those guys saying, hey, I told you. I'm that dude, So hopefully we can just see what he's going to bring to the table. What do you think about Dak and his contract? This is from Victor. Well, he got a 1-year contract. So my thing is the price just went up. I'm thinking that every year he became better in certain situations. He went from better footwork, better progressions, reading through his reads, or what have you. My thing is what Dak Prescott must improve on this year is when he get into the money zone. He got to go through his progressions better. And on top of that, I need to see a better fade ball out of Dak Prescott. That's me objectively giving you guys my thoughts of Dak Prescott. And the third thing will be run the ball, man. Run the ball, Dak. Use those Mississippi legs. But here's the thing. If you got a 1-year contract, $31 million, and they ain't showing that they're going to give you a long-term contract, why in the hell of it you will be running that rock when they ain't showing that they're going to give you what you worth or what have you? So that's a story of a different day. Law, to be honest, do you really think either one is good in the back? Are you talking, Tyler? Are you talking about Jordan Lewis, Cheeto Woozier, Anthony Get Down Brown? Let me know. Hey, Law, I love the cup you're drinking out of. Yeah, it's a pretty good cup, man. This cup, I got this cup from Ross, believe it or not, a clothing store, well, a place that sells clothes for the low. And they got some Cowboys, good stuff out there, man. So go to Ross, man, to get cups like this for half the price. The original price was like $10, $15, and get it from Ross for like $4, Decision making, right? The only problem is you just can't get bulks of those cups, right? Because Ross, you might see one or two, and it'd be different variations of said cup. Okay, Tyler, I do think, shout out to you, man, for putting that question out there. I do think that Jordan Lewis is good. I just think that Jordan Lewis at times, I guess, does not play when you just snatch him and put him in at the whims. I think that Jordan plays better when he's starting the entire game. Case in point, if you think I'm crazy, go look up, I think it's 2018 when we played the Detroit Lions. Terrible game. They just picked him up and threw him in there and said, hey, play. It's your time, play. He looked terrible out there. Any of the defensive back, all of them. Yeah, pretty much. I get what you're saying, Tyler. Mark, if Dak Prescott wins the Super Bowl, he will be a $45 million quarterback. Depending on the market, depending on the structure of the length and terms of the contract, Could be. If Dak Prescott win the Super Bowl, I'll give him 50. You know, give that man, pay that man. And this is why I say this. Victor says Ross is a great place. Yes, yes. Look, if you're in the Dallas area, if people in other cities or what have you, but if you are in the Dallas area, you know, DFW, you go to Ross, they got, you know, I'm from Mississippi, so they don't have all of the Cowboys apparels everywhere. But you go to Ross in Dallas, man, they got nothing but good stuff, with good clothing items, articles that you can get as it relates to the Cowboys. And it's for the low. And good stuff, good quality stuff, man. All right, so, and then you can get your polos from there, too. For those who don't like polo but love polo, you get your polos from Ross, man, or TJ Maxx. You know, shout out to y'all. You know, if y'all want to ever have, you know, a sponsor, a brother, you know, hit me up, TJ Maxx, Ross. And I don't do Burlington that much, but you know, I heard Burlington got some good stuff. But Burlington, that's a story of a different day. All right, let's get back to what I was talking about. Here's the thing. I was talking about Dak Prescott contract here. If he wins the Super Bowl, shoot, I think that multiple people be like, yeah, give him whatever he want, right? But here's the reality of it. Within the next few years, when that new TV contract is going to be crazy. Want to know why I say that? Amazon is recession proof. Matter of fact, by the time that new contract come out, I think the drones will be dropping off people stuff at the front door. Amazon is making all types of bank. And Amazon looked at it and said, hey, I want some of this TV money. I want some of this contract money with the NFL. So you know that stuff is going to be crazy, banana crazy. And I ain't talking about the split. Lord, I just bought the Lamb jersey. Jonathan, man, posted in one of the feeds there so I can see your Lamb jersey. Yeah. Post it down in the feed, man. So I got to see that wet jersey. Let me know which kind you got. Did you get the white CD Lamb? Did you get the navy blue, the dark navy CD Lamb? Jersey. Let me know. All right, how long I've been live, Cowboy Nation? It's 11:52. So let me know how long I've been live. And let me know if you guys follow me on my Law Nation 2.0 because I've been doing some gaming there as well. Yes, my brother TJ Maxx and Ross in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Nice. Yes, Chris. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. We talking about clothes, baby. Yes. Ali, what's good with you, fam? Hey. You know, delayed but not denied, baby. To jump on in here, hit that rewind button and get some of this good stuff we've been talking about. As far as depth purposes, let me just finish it up with the defensive backs. I love the ideal of Reggie Robinson. He is a quick, shifty defensive back. I love the ideal of Worley, tall, physical defensive back who's position flex. You can put him down in the box. He can play safety. He can play on the outside. But I'm thinking that he really want to play on the outside. He really want to challenge Cheeto Woozier. So I'm looking at that battle as a good situation. Iron sharpen iron, steel sharpen steel. And if we can have those pieces on the depth purposes side, ooh-wee, it's crazy. I love this particular side of the football when we start talking about especially the safety aspect. Clint Dix, Xavier Woods, right? Donovan Wilson. But my only conundrum with those three, that they all pegged as free safety. The high safety, basically. Who's going to play down inside? That's all I want to know. Who's going to get some of that? You know, when you line up like this, inside that box, you start creeping in. You hear the quarterback say, White Eddie. And you want to sit there and creep. Oh, and they try to make those shifts and those adjustments. And you backpedal out of that stance. Who going to get down inside? Who's not going to be afraid to put that nose deep inside, huh? Who's going to be that defensive back that can position flex and play that safety? Is it Xavier Woods? Is it the Darian Thompson? I like Darian Thompson, but I hate the way he pursued at the ball. He's from Boise, so I know they still got the love affair with Boise. But We're gonna have to figure that part out at strong safety. Blake says Woods. Well, we will see. What's better, Ross or Burlington's? Oh man, Ross is better than Burlington Mills. Go to Ross. Go to Ross. But Burlington got some good stuff, like paint stuff, like photos and pictures, frames and stuff like that. They're pretty good in there. They underrated in that stuff, coffee tables and things like that. I like where Diggs' head is at. He seems like that he might be something special. This is from Tyler. I think Diggs is something special. Go sign Eric Reed for cheap. Wow, wait a minute. Eric Reed, Dallas Cowboys. I don't think that would be a good match, man. I just don't think that would be a good look right now. I like some of his skill set, but I don't like him deep down inside. I like him more at the free. Can y'all name another name outside of Eric Reed? Yeah. Won't happen. Blake, yeah. Mike McCarthy needs to demand discipline off the field. We can take players get suspended and violating the NFL and team policies. I think that that's why we got Rob Davis. He's gonna be a guy that put everybody in check and pretty much they can identify with some of the players. I think that's Rob Davis. All right, Kareem, what's good with you? Good listening to your brother Law. Next time. Shout out to you, Kareem. Really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much on the Facebook panel. All right, Cowboy Nation. If you guys like this content, hit that like button, share this content. Let a friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and beyond. I pretty much was here for an hour, close to an hour. I think I might be right at an hour. Let me know how long I've been here. I'm on multiple platforms. I'm on iTunes. Check me out there on my podcast. Hit me up on Facebook if you're there. Instagram, Twitter, and as well as 2 channels on the YouTube. As we continue to grind and shine tomorrow night, we will be live like 95 on the late night hype. Me, Big Game James, and Skywalker still with the new field. We're going to try to provide you guys nothing but the good stuff. 51 minutes. Shout out to you, Rue, man. Always holding it down. And appreciate all of the mods that's out there. I cannot say this enough, man. Those guys pretty much, if I ever hit it big, man, my mods, man, I promise you guys, I'm going to tighten you guys up. I really do. I believe in giving back. So if mods, man, and shout out to Tamara, on my Facebook. Shout out to everybody that really helped me grow this thing. We're going to get this thing going the best way possible. The best way possible. Just one day at a time and one movement at a time. I always say this. I always like to leave with a positive note. And I say this pretty much all the time. Might want to write this down. When you're up against the struggles, meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin, set your shoulders, plant your feet, and take a brace. When it's vain to try to dodge it, do the best that you can do. You may fall, you may conquer. See this thing through. Black may be the clouds about you, and your future may seem grim. But don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. Always shoot them blows, baby. Work yourself from the inside out. Make sure that when you get them into the inside, drop them guards, right? Have them drop them guards, right? Even hope may seem but futile, then where trouble may be beset. Remember, you're facing what other legends have met. Keep your eyes high, head high, eyes through the finish. See this thing through, Cowboy Nation. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Hit those 5 emojis. I wish I had my outro music, but you guys know I'm just shooting this thing straight from the cell phone. So for anybody who say, hey, man, what do I need in order to do YouTube, MySpace, Facebook, Black Planet, Twitch, Twitter, all you need is a cell phone. Law can do it from a cell phone. I know you guys can as well. Salute. I'm out. I love y'all, man. Peace.